Lord, so interesting development. No, look at that. It was a rough one. Let's spruce up for this. Okay, so the spoof I made was true. It was true. I had to take the thing out. I had occurring in me when I'm going, oh my God, people that have the classic TMJ. I had symptoms that were not the classic symptoms, but other people have them. I mean, and I feel like it was because I'm a hairdresser, and that's why it went down my neck and went a certain way, where another person who doesn't work out in front of their, anyway, whatever, have the usual, anyway, I had the clicking, the grinding, the popping, pain, and all the teeth were, it was unbelievable, and the pain shooting down my neck and back, and I'm going, I kept blaming myself all day, like, well, if I just knew where to put my teeth, if I just knew where to set my teeth, and I was thinking about what they were saying, and I'm closing my mouth, I'm closing my teeth on the splint. I could only feel contact on this side and then a little bit over here by that point. Where before, and all they cared about was that I had contact in both sides in the back before I left. Like, they didn't even say anything about these up, and I'm just saying, but the slightly holding my mouth slightly open, just like that, because I guess they don't want me to hold my teeth together. It caused such distress after time. Well, after the adjustment wore off, I guess things moved a little bit. Like, if I had been able to go in yesterday and have it readjusted, I think that I could have remedied this, within 15, 20 minutes of him grinding and saying, all right, move your head this way, just like he did the day one. But when I went back in there the following day after getting the splint and having it readjusted for the first time, after it was already adjusted the first time, readjusted, I had pain. It wasn't nearly like what I had yesterday, but it was like, yeah, I got a new pain down the back of my neck. I feel like I talked about it. Reversed 30 years. It was the shadow pain. It was the pain in the areas, but it was way lighter than it was at the time of the injury, giving birth to my first daughter. So this cranked up all the forking charts. And what I think happened is, I believe that my parasympathetic nervous system went back to my car accident even further, which was 7 years prior to the birth injury, because that was where all my teeth, I bit the steering wheel, and I had plastic surgery I had to sew that. That was degloved. It was pulled up. This was off my face. You could see, when you lifted it up, you could see into my skull. The guy's like, you got a weak stomach? I'm like, nah. Well, I was in medical shock, actually, at the time. And he's like, go in there and lift that up real quick and look at your skull if you want to. And I did. I saw my skull. But anyway, I saw it. It was here, and then that grew back down. Like, the cartilage was ripped away from the bone, and this was, they sewed me from here to here. It was called degloving, because it's like a glove coming off my face was like a glove. It came right the fuck off my skull. Anyway, I think that possibly, but that my parasympathetic nervous system went there when it was exposed to the fact that I had to hold my mouth slightly open a little bit because that was in the way. Because what happened at that point was this lip was so huge after the accident, I couldn't close my mouth for like a week or 10 days or 2 days. I don't know how long it was. And I remember being in school, because I was a senior at the time. I remember putting one hand here and one hand on top and jamming my teeth together and holding them that way, because they would not even touch right. You'd think my parents would have been looking at that. No, they were busy. Anyway, thank God my dad made him wait for a plastic surgeon. And I hear people saying, oh, it's a good thing your parents all must have loved you. And no. They couldn't have a daughter that was deformed. You know what I'm saying? They weren't going to be embarrassed by my deform. I was already ugly enough for them. They weren't going to allow me to be deformed, because they would not be able to handle having a daughter with a deformed face. So they were going to pay any amount of money to make sure that I wasn't fucked up in the face, because they'd have to look at me. It wasn't about me. Anyway, thank God, right? Yeah, so, I mean, all I got left is, like, that scarring, and it's just minor. It's just, it pops out, and anyway, whatever. But I feel like my parasympathetic nervous system went there and believed it was there, because I took the thing out, and I'm like, all right. I broke a teeny little piece of Percocet off because I was so upset. I mean, I was like emotionally, like, wrecked, and I'm like, my face was like, ah, it was like, ah, and I'm going, Lenny, look at me, oh my God, this is before he left yesterday. And about a half hour later, it was almost all gone. But as I'm reaching into my memory banks, I believe that this was triggered. I believe the response was too extreme. But also, my teeth were only touching on this side. So I'm going to just go 2 more days, and they might be like, well, you said I don't know what they're going to say to me. I don't care. They can reprimand me all day. I don't care. It's all right. Look. It took me into popping, clicking, a migraine, a pain it came up over the back of my head. My head was pounded, my teeth, I could feel every heartbeat, boom, boom, and I'm going, oh my God. And I kept trying to move my jaw around, like, well, maybe it should be over here, and maybe it should be over here, and maybe I'm looking in the mirror. I don't think that's all supposed to work. Because I certainly wasn't doing that on day 1 and day 2. I was just trying not to bear down on it, that's all. And I found myself falling asleep and biting it extremely hard. And I'm like, when a hot flash would hit. And I'm like, I could feel, I was like, man, my mouth wanted to close so fucking bad. So I don't know if I'm truly going to be able to go through with this entire protocol. However, I have not given it up yet. I just think I need it to be adjusted. I need to yoga. I need to meditate. I need to move. Lise, maybe we need to do the forks. You need to find that car accident, and maybe you can pull it out of my face or wherever it's stuck from. Let's look. We've got to find that car accident. I think that's what it is. Because that's what it felt like. Man, I want this to work. So now Lenny's panicked. He's got an appointment on Monday morning to get measured for a splint. And he's like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, it's not supposed to be like this, babe. It was just a fluke and I got it on the weekend. Like this, it's going to be all right. Just because they say never take it out, it doesn't mean we can't take it out. You can take it out. You got to take it out to eat and stuff. If you're feeling like we've got to tailor this tool to work for us. If we have different traumas that are like causing something to wig out, take it out, fix the trauma moment, and then stick it back in. Because I laid in the bed last night at 2 o'clock. The pain started, and I didn't have this thing in my mouth. The pain was shooting down it was trying to redo the pain. And I didn't even have the thing in my mouth. So I know it was running a program. And I said to myself, no. Lenny told me that he stopped his lower back pain the other day by doing, for 5 minutes, the breathing exercise that the posture lady gave him by lying down, propping on pillows under his legs, under his head until he was completely comfortable, and then did the diaphragmatic breathing for like 5 minutes. And he said he got up and the pain was gone. I said, I'm doing that right now. I told my body, you're going to listen to me. I said, touched my teeth together. I said, feel that, body? My teeth are touching. You know where you are in space and time, and you're going to release this tension that you're holding for no physical, actual reason that's in reality. And I did I did a little bit of the breathing. It was like 2 minutes, and I eliminated the pain. I was just this close to getting up and taking Motrin. I was thinking about taking a muscle relaxer. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I know that my body thinks something's happening, and it's not happening. So let me just tell it, and it worked. So I'm about to do some more of that. This is some interesting stuff. So I was able to fall asleep for a little while. I mean, it was bad pain. I'm like, am I going to be able to get rid of it? I thought, yes. Because I felt like the pain was not real. That I was feeling it, but the reason was a faulty signal from my parasympathetic nervous system. It was freaking out from a memory, not from what was actually happening. It thought the thing was in my mouth, like because I was hanging my mouth open, and I'm like, oh, let me touch my teeth together. And I told my body, yeah, you're all right. And then it responded like I didn't expect it to, but it did it. I was like, we do have more control over our bodies than we thought. Yay! Anyway, too long. I talked too long. All right, let me I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take a couple little streakers. I'm gonna put a little dark streak here and there because it went a little bit I don't know, it's for kicks and shit. I got to cut the top a little bit, and then I got to get on down the road. Anyway, yeah, let's go, YouTube. Let's go.